All right, Nick. Here we go again. Top 9. 1 run in. Trying to get at least 2. Hopefully, perhaps 3. We shall see.
Working the count against Jansen at least made him unavailable, so
yeah, we'll see.
Nice when that actually works out that way.
Yeah, we'll see if we can't make it pay off.
Oh, you know what? I need to 1 second.
All right, here we go. Got some stuff set up, ready to rock. Need base runners. Nope, can't hit the ball pull side when they're throwing sliders away. Tough. Can we just get lucky here, please? Also, for those that are just joining the show, I have like a small amount of sunflower seeds left that I got to get rid of. I can't just burn them, So I'm gonna try to be as respectful as I can, but I don't plan on chewing sunflower seeds on the show now. Slider away. Nope. Okay.
Left-handed batters career OPS nearly 100 points higher against this pitcher. If only the Reds had a left-handed batter with some power on the bench they could bring in.
Not enough good hitters, man. Let's be honest. We've tried to survive in advance for a long time. We have survived in advance for a long time. This isn't going to get on. We're not getting on base here. Go ahead and cue the intro. Cue the intro. And I'm sure it's a matter of time. Yep. Oh, we fouled it off. Okay. All right. The odds of hitting a home run here. 1 in 1,000. That's what it feels like. Is Will Banfield? Is he in is in LA? Like, did he get the? Is he on a? Is he? He's not catching a commercial flight, is he? Like, where he's not stuck in a layover in Houston.
They did an interview with him. He's there.
Okay.
And the bench to bench. Change hit in the air to deep right field. That goes to Lindsay. And the thing. He's done. Get out of here, baseball. It's gone. Oh, my God. Can you believe it? Johnny Bench has tied it up. The Cincinnati Reds win the World Series in 4 straight. It was a sweep. In the dirt. It's a wild pitch. Here comes Foster. The Reds win the pennant. Larkins won the game. That ball is fair. Cincinnati's ahead. 2 games to none. Welcome, Joe Randa to Cincinnati. Adam Dunn has done it again. Benzinger backing and calling. And the 1990 World Championship belongs to the Cincinnati Reds. Marty, yes. This is Adam from Milwaukee. Hey, Adam, how you doing? I'm good. How are you? Good. Do you think Chatterbox is a good player?
Dunn up there with the bases loaded, the outfield deep and around toward right, to the 1-0 on the way to the plate. Swung on, long drive, right field, and this one belongs to the Reds.
And a high drive. Hit back into deep right field. Junior has just knocked the door down to the 500 club. Benson's first home run is a walk-off winner. That ball had a family.
And De La Cruz is, oh my goodness, look at this kid run. My, oh my, that is a triple.
Matt McClain's first big league bomb. Spencer Steer's first big league hit is a home run to straightaway center field. Joey Votto's done it again.
The pitch. Votto swings high in the air. Right field. Yes! He pointed to the dugout to say, I told you. That is Joey Votto's 315th career go-ahead ribby. Only Johnny Bench had more as a Red.
And I can't tell you how much it means to play in front of everyone here in Cincinnati as a Red. What a gift. What a tremendous gift. So thank you. Thank you.
I think I can speak for all of Reds country. Joey Votto, thank you.
High drive. Left center field. Racing back to the Laurent Bourgeois. The Reds are National League Central Division champions. In the air, left center field. Did he? Did he? He did. He did. Reds win. Reds win. Line to right field. Genius, the first Red ever with 4 home runs in a game. Can you believe it? In the air, down the right field line. Does it have a chance? The Reds have won on a 3-run home run on opening day by Ramon Hernandez. A strike away and out away is Homer Bailey. Ground ball to third. Frazier gloves. Throw to first, and Homer Bailey, for the second time in his major league career, has tossed a no-hitter. Oh, gosh. Oh, my God. Are you kidding me? Holy Moses, the second player in major league history to hit 7 home runs in the first 10 games. In the air, and the Reds win. What a dream beginning to the career of Jay Bruce.
All right, Nick. Did you see that step back we just took? We did take 2 steps forward, thankfully. This series, you win the series. You gotta, from a perspective standpoint, say that this team has been playing good baseball. So you don't want to overreact. I'm not the best at doing that. It's just so tiresome to lose in this manner this many times, man. And I'm sure that the show and the chat and everything, it's all going to be about Ashcraft. It's going to be about, not being able to be able to, get outs there and what was the bottom of the 8th. but we scored 1 run. And that to me is what's going to be maybe the difference by the end of this year, whether or not this team can do it or not, is that they're going to have to find ways to have an offense that, even if things aren't going all that well over the course of maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 innings, they still have enough firepower, Nick, to rattle off a 4 or 5 spot in an inning. This team just doesn't put up enough crooked numbers, and tonight's a little bit of disappointment. But I got to tell you, I'm not completely disheartened. Maybe it's because I've just been programmed at this point to expect this to happen every so often. I don't know how you feel.
Yeah, I mean, look, he got a huge break with the Mets losing tonight to a Nationals team that's not very good. But again, you're running out of chances to take care of this, and now you're kind of, in some ways, taking a little bit of control out of it because the Mets play tomorrow. You don't. You could be a game and a half back if the Mets win tomorrow. So it's not the end of the world, but man, this was a massive missed opportunity. They were facing a good pitcher tonight, but this game was lost in the second inning. This game was lost in the top of the second inning, period, end of story. You had Kikuchi on the ropes, and you let him off. You let him off the hook.
100%. I don't want to get too far into it because this is one of those shows where I don't want to shortchange anything by any stretch of the imagination. And there's plenty of people that don't stay up on the West Coast trips to where you kind of have to lay this thing out and explain maybe kind of some key moments of the game. But I think you kind of just nailed it right on its head for the most part of what this show's probably going to be about. You can't have this many missed opportunities when you are this inadequate of an offensive baseball team. You got to at least capitalize on the opportunities you create. You know, you don't have enough firepower to be able to just squander. I would even go so far to say, Nick, like even the drop pop up in right center field that they just hand you runners on first and second with nobody out, and you still are incapable of capitalizing. Now, some of that's bad luck. Like, Ellie hit a ball really, really well right there. Like, it's not. I mean, what are you supposed to do? It's all you can really do is just hit the ball hard. But it's like at some point, one of the next 3 hitters, 3, 4, 5. Again, I'll say it. 3, 4, 5. Someone's got to get a hit. And the thing that sucks, Nick, is that if you take some of these guys at bats and you flop them with one of their poor at bats, we would have scored probably 3 or 4 extra runs tonight. But that's not obviously how baseball works, is it? So let's just get into it. Let's do the box score recap. Basically, presented by yourself, and not a whole lot of highlights in this recap, but let's do that. We'll jump into maybe some supers here real quick, and then I guess we'll get into the nuts and bolts of the show.
All right, a little late night Kikuchi. Reds taking on the Angels. Reds trying to finish off a sweep in Anaheim. Nick Martinez on the mound for the Reds. Reds had a big chance in the top of the second. Miguel Andujar doubled down the left field line, and Austin Hayes smoked a single to put runners on the corner, but Spencer Steer struck out, and Jose Trevino grounded into a double play to end the inning. Reds did get on the board in the top of the third. Brian Hayes had a leadoff double, and then with 2 outs, Noelvi Marte blooped in a single to make it 1-0 Reds. Nick Martinez gave up a solo homer to Yoan Moncada in the bottom of the fourth, but that would be his only blemish on the night. A fantastic start from Nick Martinez. 6 innings, 2 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, 7 strikeouts. Scott Barlow did what Scott Barlow does. He threw a perfect 7th inning with a strikeout, but Graham Ashcraft gave up a run in the 8th. Brent Suter bailed him out of making it worse. Reds' final 5 batters were retired, and 12 of the final 13 by a mediocre Angels bullpen at best. Reds lose 2-1. Reds fall to 67 and 61. And thanks to the grace of God, the Washington Nationals won today. So the Reds remain 1 game out of a playoff spot.
All right. And, I know damn well we didn't have a deep drive in the big leagues. So we'll just go down to AAA. And thankfully for the Cincinnati Reds, they do have a guy down in AAA that might be able to help this baseball team. It's going to be interesting to see what they do. But Sal Stewart hits a home run. It's his 7th on the year. It's a fly ball to left center field. And it was 101.6 off the bat, 401 feet. For those that are keeping track, that's far. 28 degrees. It would cut the deficit to 1 run. Nashville was up 6-5. But I'm sure many of you could care less about that right now. But what you should care about is DSC being a leader in renewable commodities for biofuel production, specializing in used cooking oil collection, aggregation, and sales. Visit www.deepsouthcommodities.com for more information. And thank you to John and his team for supporting us in this show. And thank you to all of you that have come in here tonight on what is a little bit of a disappointing night. We all know it's disappointing. But the season's not over. We're not doing that, okay? We're not doing that. Season's not over. It's not the complete end of the world. Sun will come up tomorrow. At least that's the plan, according to what all the reports and everybody I've looked at have said. And here's the thing: we didn't lose ground, but we didn't gain ground either. And as you said, Nick, you got to gain ground at some point. Can't keep treading water. Can't keep treading water and expecting this thing probably to work out based off your schedule. And I guess, maybe you can convince me that if you're able to sweep the Mets, that could do wonders. That could be the difference. But again, you're forcing yourself to have to do something that's probably not realistic. You had mentioned, Nick, you thought that the game kind of got out of hand in the second inning. I don't disagree totally. I do say that there was plenty of opportunity, clearly, for the rest of the game for them to be able to do something, but the momentum certainly shifted. It felt like the Reds were going to capitalize on some good offensive play. I mean, you put guys on first and third with nobody out. Andujar once again looks like a beast. Doubles. Austin Hayes singles. Andujar kind of gets deked, Nick, a little bit. And J.R. House did the right thing and, obviously held him at third base because he just was you can't make the first out at home. And under any circumstance in that situation, you'd like to think that the guys behind him would be able to put the ball in play and get guys in. Unfortunately, Spencer Steer strikes out. And then Jose Trevino watches it. And again, I stuck up for Trevino for a while, but you know what? I'm a fair and honest guy. When I see things that are just not very good play, I'm going to call it out. Trevino watches a 93-mile-an-hour fastball that's middle, and I don't really understand what the mindset was when he stepped in the box. Was he looking for something else? Because if he was, why? But he's not able to lift the baseball, right? And he slaps a ground ball over to the right side, and if Trevino obviously wasn't slower than, we'll leave the jokes aside tonight. But if he wasn't incredibly slow, it probably wouldn't have been a double play. It shouldn't have been a double play, but it was a double play. So they escaped that inning, Nick, 0-0, and then you keep going down the list though, and I mean you get it in the third inning, you get a double from Brian Hayes, and you go strikeout, and then you thankfully Marte got a big hit. Like, I don't know if we know this or not, but if Marte doesn't get that big hit, there's a very good chance we score 0.
And that was a pretty fortunate hit, if we're being honest. Now, Noel Marte's playing great. That was a blue hit. That wasn't really necessarily the best piece of hitting, but that was the only run the Reds scored in the game. I don't really Trevino. I'm not going to sit here and say a single bad word about him catching his 5th game in a row, given everything he's got for the team. If anyone deserves a pass, it's Trevino. But Spencer Steer striking out in that spot. Middle of the order bat. I mean, just that was the game, and it's just this offense, man, at the bottom of the order right now. And Hayes is playing well, but
he is playing great.
It's just Brian Hayes, but it's just whatever you throw out there, it's just not. It's not working.
Yeah, I mean, it's just hard to get on anybody, right? I mean, what do you expect out of Espinal? The guy doesn't really play hardly at all, and then all of a sudden you throw him out there, and unfortunately for him, he didn't have a very good day offensively either. But there's just not a lot of sample. The real issue ultimately lies within the fact that we didn't execute when we had our opportunities. Spencer Steer in the top of the 5th, he hits a solid fly out, right? Like if that at bat is just reversed with the other one, we're having a different conversation. But that's obviously not how the game works, and everyone's going to end up, jumping down to Ashcraft, Nick. He's on the list, and I know that, and you can't give him a pass. I'm not trying to give him a pass. I just don't know where else you turn. I guess that's my question, right? If it's not Ashcraft and you don't want him out there at all because you think he's the other word, and I'm not going to say it, but we all get the pun that everybody uses with Ashcraft. It's pretty close and pretty obvious what name they're using. Where do you go? Who do you trust? And I don't know. And I know, listen, I think it's very unfair to sit here and be like, hey, Trevino needs to block that ball. Listen, it was a tough pitch. I'm not saying it wasn't. It was a tough pitch. But again, I go back to Nick, like, this team seems to fail at being able to pick another guy up when they fail more times than not. It happens every so often, yes. But it just seems like it's very rare that happens. And what I'm saying is, like, yes, Ashcraft threw a really, really bad pitch. But, like, and again, people are going to kill me because, like, you think that Trevino should have blocked that ball? I'm not saying he should have blocked it. What I'm saying is that these just, again, basically glove saves from a hockey goalie looking type of blocking doesn't cut it for me. It just doesn't. I'd like for you to use your chest protector. That's all. And he actually did use his chest protector, oddly enough, when the guy was at third base. And I listen, Trevino's has been good. He's been a good defensive catcher. At least I haven't looked at his metrics because I don't care enough to look, but I'm guessing that he has. I'm disappointed. I'm rambling. I'm not trying to give Ashcraft a pass, Nick. I just don't know what to say about him. He's not been great, but who the hell else do we have?
It's a tie game. You can't keep running Santillan and Pagan out there every time either. And Ashcraft, it was a pretty good spot for him. You had the number 9 hitter due up. Their leadoff hitter, Zach Nito, left the game, so you had a backup, Oswaldo Peraza, who's legitimately maybe the worst hitter in baseball this year. So it was a great spot for Ashcraft. He just didn't really come through. I mean, it's as simple as that. So I don't know. I don't have an issue. I don't have an issue with this game being tied in the 8th inning. You just can't keep burning Santillan and Pagan.
Well, the reason I bring that pitch up, Nick, is because, yes, he gives up the double, right? But the biggest pitch of the inning, in my opinion, was the pass ball, or the wild pitch. I should call it a wild pitch. It's a wild pitch before I get hate mail. Because if that doesn't happen, Key Brian Hayes isn't playing in, right? And I think that the ball that was fisted over his head, more or less, is probably caught at a standard depth. It wasn't hit hard at all. So, but are we going to sit here? I guess my thing is, like, are we going to sit here on the show and tonight and sit here and just try to dissect the fact that our bullpen blew the game? We scored 1 run. I mean, my gosh. We scored 1 run, man. I'm so tired of doing this. I really am. I'm so tired of getting in here and being like, Pagan, oh my gosh, Pagan against the Brewers, he gave up a run. Okay, the score's 2-2. We're going to extras. It's 2-2. Score 5 runs. Score 6. This is not a recipe of being able to consistently win games when you have to go out there and you have to pitch the ball perfectly. And I know it's a high bar of what the starting pitchers have typically put out, right? You just expect to get guys out at this point. It's like if we don't get 3 outs before we give up 1 run in an inning, we're disappointed. And you know what? I'll give all the glory to the starting pitchers for creating that mindset in Reds fandom this year. But it's unrealistic. It's just unrealistic to sit here and ask this staff as a whole, in totality, to every single night have to be damn near perfect. And that's what it feels like more times than not.
Yeah, no, I mean, 1 run in 3 innings out of your bullpen's a fine effort. Like, I'm with you. But
I just don't know where else to go. I mean, I hate to be like this on the show, and I'm not even negative. I think this team is more than fine. But it's time to try to get some help offensively, Nick. I don't want to go there yet, but I'm there. I am totally there, brother. I am. And I'm not saying that I don't care about defense at all. But I'm willing to risk it. I'm willing to risk it. If that dude sucks at second base for a week, you guys can bring the pitchfork straight to my front yard. You can pick it outside of my house for wanting to bring up Sal Stewart and just spin some tires, baby. I am ready for it. I mean, seriously, Nick, we need some more production offensively. And once you get through the 6th hitter in this lineup, I mean, it is just like, it's atrocious. And I'm not trying to be a jerk. I would even argue maybe the 4th or 5th hitter.
yeah, I'd argue when you get to the 4th in the lineup tonight.
Yeah. So, yeah. And people are going to get upset at us or upset at me because I feel like we're picking on the same guys over and over again. I don't know. It's just like, take off the blinders. People in the chat right now, not right now, but before the game was even over, people were in there talking about Ellie. And you know I'm a guy that gets on Ellie. I mean, I get on Ellie. I know that you are his poster child. Like, I know that Nick says nothing but nice things about him all the time. But we're talking about Ellie De La Cruz in the chat on a night like tonight. With all due respect, what the hell are we talking about? Get a grip. Have a clue. Watch the games.
Yeah, you have the hardest hit ball of the night.
Yeah, well, no one's gonna care about the hardest hit ball of the night. But like, with all due respect, what do you want? What do you want him to do? I mean, do you want him to score every single night from first base on a ball? Like, do we not remember the very last night? Like the night before that, 24 hours prior to this, the SOB was running all the way around the bases, scoring every single time there was a single, and he damn near won the game last night. He also made 0 errors that I can remember. I did watch the game, I think, and he made some pretty good plays in the infield. And I was even starting to think, wow, looks like a pretty good. I'll tell you what, a pretty good center fielder is playing shortstop tonight. That's what I watched. I mean, I tell you, for all the people that are saying he's not a shortstop, he looked pretty decent tonight. So again, maybe I'm going too far off the rails, and perhaps I should stop paying attention to that on the chat before the game's over. But I'm just. We're pissed off at Ashcraft. We're pissed off at Ellie De La Cruz. And we're not mad at anybody that can't get a guy in from third base with less than 2 outs. That's cool. All right. Make it make sense to me. I'd like Ellie to hit a home run, too, to be fair. You want some criticism? There you go. Yeah, I'd like him to hit a home run. I don't know when it's going to come, but I'd like a few of those at some point. Anyways, I should stop because my fandom is getting in the way.
Yeah, I don't really have a lot tonight. The offense didn't play good enough. Nick Martinez pitched really well. You missed a great opportunity. All hope's not lost.
Yeah, it is what it is.
He's just 34 games left, and pray the Mets lose tomorrow. Like, that's kind of where we're at.
Yeah, that shouldn't be the strategy. It's hope the downfall of the other team. But yeah, I mean, I guess you're not wrong.
I saw someone in the chat earlier saying, you can't ever expect a sweep. And yeah, I agree, but you're kind of you're getting into, you're not completely in desperation mode, but every game you're getting closer. And the Mets, you just can't keep expecting the Mets to play this bad. Like, it'd be nice to get a lead on the Mets because it just seems like at some point they're going to get hot.
Well, I'm not saying I'm not worried about the Mets. I'm worried that we continue to have the same things happen over and over and over and over again, and we don't change anything to try to fix it. That's all. And I'm not going there on this show because people are going to think that I'm completely toxic. But when you run the same players out there over and over and over again, and they have the offensive performances that they have, over and over and over and over and over again. Their great defense can only take you so far. You know? Seriously. I don't know. Are we really only going to put Gavin Lux out there like one time? I get he had a bad game. I get it, but like maybe just try it one more time.
No, I mean tonight was against the lefties, so
I'm just saying in general.
I guess
Is he not going to play second base again?
I don't know what they're doing with second base. Sal Stewart was playing second tonight for Louisville.
Okay.
I don't know.
That's a bright spot.
You can call him up. I hope that the defense doesn't cost him, but I read what I read last night. You'll have to see. It's a gamble. I'm kind of with you. I kind of just like, what the hell, but at the same time they are winning games because of defense too. So
yeah, what we're doing is we're getting frustrated because there's like 3 or 4 of these spots, and we're trying to force it in one of them to find some offensive firepower at that position. And then unfortunately for us, we've seen the fact that we can't hide some of these guys. Like Gavin Lux in left field, for instance. Like he's had some pretty poor performances out there, and it's just like, all right, we don't want to see this anymore. Well, the issue is that, you know, I guess Hayes is healthy enough, hopefully, to play left field because he certainly looks better out there than Lux, but I don't know. I mean, it's a sprint now, Nick. It's a sprint. We don't have time to sit here and probably, you know, do the whole let's make sure we take care of the calf situation in left field type thing. Like, it's, if you can't play out there now, then you're not really helping our team enough. So anyway, no, we lost. I hate to be like blunt. We lost. You move on to the next day. You try to find a way to win. So, anything else before we jump into supers? I can only imagine what the chat looks like right now. They're probably absolutely not happy with me.
you got to look at these supers.
Holy shit! What the hell? Hold on a minute. What the fuck? God, dude. What? Dude, Mr. JAVANAUT not?
Has this guy ever even...
Mr. JAVANAUT? Did he just come in here out of the blue?
Do you have a business you want us to like hype up or something?
What? What? This is like, I know I usually joke about the extra zero thing, but like, is that an extra zero on accident, sir? Would Ellie start hitting if Tito moved him down in the lineup? I don't know. I mean, maybe. I tell you what,
I would have moved up in the lineup.
For $500, I don't know. I'm a loss for words, brother. Chat, is this guy in this chat? I usually know these names. Is Mr. JAVANAUT, right? JAVANAUT. Mr. JAVANAUT. Is Mr. JAVANAUT in the chat regularly? Or is this guy just like came in and he's gone? It's like Shogo Akiyama. If you blinked, you never would have seen it. Would Ellie start hitting if Tito moved him down in the lineup? I don't know how to answer that. I think that he's fine probably where he's at if he moved up one more spot, in my opinion. Hit him in the 2-hole. I just want to get Ellie on base with not that many outs in the inning. Like, that's how I feel about it. However we do that, that would be great. Some would say lead off, but
Ellie had a 7-game hit streak snapped tonight. And again, I thought
Ellie's
he had
power.
I thought he had one of the best swings of the night.
He
tonight.
did, yeah, he did. He did. He
But yeah,
definitely did. He definitely
the
did.
powers. I don't know what the deal with the power is.
The power is the problem. Like, let's just be honest. Like, we can sit here and say that we like Ellie and all these things, but like, truth be told, is that for some reason, this power has just evaporated, and we've not, unfortunately, seen the moonshots that we've seen before. I don't want to say, this is the thing with Valleca that's kind of like a little unique, Nick. I got to admit, because I am not a hitting coach guy. I just can't be. I have a hard time believing that a hitting coach would have that much of an impact in regards to just the capabilities of the players themselves. Now, having said that, I've kind of pulled back a little bit on that complete take because of how many young players we have. And I feel like, with all due respect, but if you have a guy that has some tenure in the big leagues, and Chris Valleca is trying to tell him anything, I just think it'd go one ear and out the other. Like, I think that, they'd just laugh in his face if they were trying to suggest that this is how you should go about hitting. Now, I think a hitting coach is good to maybe try to help for prep for guys, prep for bullpen arms, prep for, just kind of situational stuff. But as far as an actual, like, mechanic swing stuff, I just can't believe that Chris Valleca is making moves. Now, having said that, I don't have any other answer as to why Elly De La Cruz, his approach has shifted dramatically, right? Like, he has cut down on the strikeouts. He has put the ball in play more. He's looked better in that regard, but at the same time, you're losing a pretty big piece in power, so...
I think it has far more to do with the quad probably than anything else. I think that has probably been what's, whether that's bothering him or not, I think it definitely probably messed him up a little bit this year. I mean, he had, how many home runs? He had 18 home runs on June 23rd.
Yeah, he hasn't had a home run. I think someone
slugging,
in the chat said in 50 games. 50 games.
He has one home run since June 23rd. Last home run was on July 31st. So he went from June 23rd to July 31st, one home run, and then 0 cents. Yeah, I mean, I think it's more likely the quad than anything else.
We'll see. Mr. JAVANAUT, that's the largest super chat we've ever gotten on this channel. Roth has put up some crazy nights for sure. He's still a GOAT. But Mr. JAVANAUT came out of the blue and just dropped a super chat that I think will probably be up there at the top bar, probably when we come back and doing this show on Sunday, if I had to guess. All right. Thank you, Mr. JAVANAUT. That's very nice of you. I don't know how the hell that's even possible. MD Gene J Day. J Day is in JD. Turds, double turds. That made me laugh. I like that. Jay Tinsel said, I'm going to take my 2 inches. Why do you people do this? What's the point? What's the point? Is the point to make me laugh and make me realize that this is just some stupid baseball game and it's not that big of a deal? We'll wake up tomorrow and we'll just do this all over again? Is that what the point is? Because I was at a pity party for a minute, folks. I was all the way in it. Tired, sick and tired of the same old stuff. Bryce 1023 says, I just want to know when the offensive unit is going. I just want to know when the offensive unit is going to be consistent. It's like 1 week good and next week bad. I don't know how to feel. Yeah. I think it's because we have a lot of inconsistent hitters that pretty much occupy half our lineup. Or not good enough hitters that make it to where you're going to have on any given night a pretty solid performance, because we talk about passing the baton, Nick, more or less passing the baton game by game, right? Like, oh, these two guys have a big night, and then the next night those two guys have a big night, and the next night those two guys have a big night, and then next thing you know, you're talking about 6 different guys. This team just doesn't have that. They don't have that.
And they don't have one big bad either.
That's fair.
Like, I don't know.
Yeah, they're not riding.
I'm not going to say anything else. It's just
right. You know where it's going to go. It's going to be people mad at you because you're downplaying a leader and a guy that's a well-established presence in the clubhouse and all the other jargon that we do to try to make up, what, about guys being productive players in this team. This city does a great job of it, man. I tell you, we're the opposite of Philadelphia. Philadelphia just tells all of their great players they're trash. We tell all of our mid players they're great. And we kind of tell our great players they're trash. It's kind of a unique situation that we have going on here. But that's here nor there. We lost tonight. We wake up tomorrow. We win again. That's the goal. Ned Flanders said, in the category of the Austin wins mystery, are we sure Ke'Bryan Hayes isn't good at the plate? That's what I'm talking about, Ned. That's what I'm talking about. Sometimes you just need a new scenery, baby. Sometimes it's the jersey. Sometimes maybe it's just Chris Valaika. Does he get credit for Ke'Bryan Hayes playing well in Cincinnati or no?
maybe.
Just asking.
I'm pretty confident Ke'Bryan Hayes is not a great hitter.
He was his first year in the big leagues.
Yeah, those 24 games were magical.
Hey, 24 games that you can't take away, Nick.
Yeah. I mean, I think like his ceiling is an average player. Average hitter, okay. Which is a near MVP candidate. Oh, God. Which is a near MVP candidate.
You tell Nick Kroll that. Yeah. All right, that's fair. No, you're not wrong. He also made a good play tonight by deciding to go home with the ball instead of trying to take it to second base for a double play, which would have been super risky in that spot. I thought he made the right decision.
Gave him a chance in the ninth.
Of course, they didn't do anything with it, but it gave him a chance nonetheless. All right, folks, if you haven't already, please like the stream. We very much appreciate you guys for sticking around here on a, like I said, a crappy night. A night that's just not, just bad vibes. Bad vibes when you watch that baseball game. As always, you can text in or call 988. It's okay to not be okay, which is something I'm telling myself right this very second. It's all right. Sleep it off, wake up tomorrow, and feel better about ourselves. But if you're ever in a time of crisis or you know someone in a crisis, you can remind them that they can text or call 988 at any time, day or night. You can also visit mantherapy.org to get help. And as a reminder, the Disc Golf Pro Tour, LWS Open, is on its way in Idlewild, Burlington, Kentucky, August 22nd through the 24th. Featuring 150 of the top disc golfers in the entire world. Food trucks, Rheingeist beer, and other vendors will be there. Tickets can be found at lwsopen.com or the dgpt.com. That's LWS Open. That one seems a little easier. lwsopen.com or dgpt.com. Some would say dgpt might be a little easier because it's less letters. Who knows? Whichever one you'd like. Maybe whichever one loads faster. We went this long into the show and haven't talked about the guy that was the most impressive player of the night. Nick Martinez. Had the Angels kind of off balance all night long. Did a really good job of mixing up pitches, Nick. Was in the zone. And, yeah, he bounced back, man. It's just, it stinks because as much as I just said that you could flip-flop a couple of at-bats tonight and you probably score 3-4 runs, you flip-flop Nick Martinez to starts and you 100% get a win. And tonight he was excellent. He was fantastic. He was phenomenal. And once again in his second straight start, he's he doesn't come up a winner. So I don't know. I'll say this about Nick Martinez tonight. I actually thought that he pitched. You know, like you ever heard guys are like, you hear this all the time, like, well, he knows how to pitch. This guy can pitch. That guy's just a thrower. The truth is velocity matters. We all know velocity matters. There's a pretty good indicator that if you throw the ball hard, you get guys out a good amount of the time. But tonight I just thought he did a very, very, very good job of just kind of taking things, you take some off of certain pitches at certain times, and then obviously speed guys up, slow them down. He did a master class of that all night long, and it was enjoyable to watch. The only obviously issue is that he just didn't get any help. But yeah, I don't know how else to say it. Nick Martinez did his job tonight, Nick.
Yeah, I tell you what, he's every time he's had a really bad start, he's bounced back his next time out and pitched very well this year. So give him credit for that. This is probably his last start in the rotation for now. There was a report earlier that Lodolo is slated to join the Reds rotation against the Dodgers. So Martinez, I assume, moves back to the bullpen. And, I mean, that's definitely a welcome sign for a bullpen that desperately needs it. So nice to see him kind of coming off a really good start, and hopefully he can transition to, I would hope, a multi-inning reliever role to where, you get some of these leads, you can use them for 2 innings if you get a short start. So, yeah, I'm not giving up on Martinez getting back into the rotation again at some point if it's needed and going on a big run like he did at the end of last year. So it's nice to have a guy that has that versatility, that can handle going back and forth. He's been disappointing probably overall this year, but I'm very happy that he's on the Reds right now. Whether he's worth the $21 million or not, I'm glad he's on the Cincinnati Reds the last 34 games of the year.
Yeah, I agree. And the thing that sucks about being a fan of this franchise is that we get so enamored with the financials. We do, because we know that it can be painful and hurt us on the back end because we don't have any money to spend. But the team that we're chasing right now in the New York Mets, do you think that they would give a damn if they were not paying him an extra, $4 million? Like, oh, we're losing $4 or $5 million worth of value here. I guess that's where I have a really big issue with Major League Baseball in general. But point is, Nick Martinez, if he's able to do what he did tonight, just a few more times this year out of the bullpen, if that's where his role winds up being, it's going to be a big value add. Because let's face it, we just sat here tonight and I said, who would you rather go to? Like, what, you have to go to Ashcraft, or if you don't go to Ashcraft, who are you going to go to? Well, the truth is that if you can get some healthy, starting arms, maybe it's Nick Martinez. That's the guy you're going to go to in those spots. And it might not just be he throws for 1 inning, but he throws for 2 innings, and you can kind of extend out what you feel like is some quality, high leverage arms out of the bullpen. And that's what this team, I guess maybe you could say, is missing, is the depth from that perspective. But the truth is that's not their issue. We could sit here and talk about the bullpen and Ashcraft all we want, but I mean, like I said, we got to be able to find a way to score, and we'll see if we're capable of doing that. Speaking of scoring,
hold on one second. I want to add one more thing. I was thinking about this, tonight with Martinez. I think a lot of people have looked at the contract, and it is what it is. So, well, you should have used that on a bat. Well, there's no guarantee that you hit on the bat either. I mean, a lot of the free agent bats were massive disappointments. I was trying to think through, and I was looking through who would have been the most comparable bat to what Martinez made. Probably was Jock Peterson. Jock Peterson ended up signing a 2-year, $37 million deal. You know what Jock Peterson's numbers are this year? He's hitting 150 with a 63 WRC plus. So, like, Martinez has actually had value. Yes, has he been completely worth the $21 million? No, but he hasn't been a bust either. He hasn't been a player that you almost are like considering DFAing. There's never been a single second that we felt like Nick Martinez wasn't worthy of being on the big league roster. So I think you have to kind of add that when you're talking about this, when you're talking about these things, is that a large portion of these contracts, these 1-2 year guys, they fail. They just do. That's the nature of this. And at least you got a guy with value. At least you got a guy that over these last 34 games of the year, you are thrilled to have on your roster.
Right. I agree. I mean, that's a fair point too, as well. Is that, yeah, you've spent money on a guy that you think that perhaps he's not living up to the exact dollar amount that you're paying him, but he's definitely not anywhere close to the likes of Jeimer Candelario. And it's kind of funny, Nick. Like, the guys that really actually are the kryptonite when it comes to the financials for this baseball team. Usually, you don't even get on those guys anymore because they're long gone and they're just dead money. They're dead money. You've forgotten about them, or if you haven't forgotten about them, you don't even bring them up. Like Jeimer Candelario, is still a guy that just pisses me off. I mean, he just was worthless, quite literally worthless. So I don't know. We got Key Brian Hayes now, which is nice to know. Speaking of Hayes, we'll jump into the next rundown. Our segment right now on the show is that you have a pretty good run right now from him offensively. You have, and you know what? He looks competent at the plate too. It's not a guy that feels like he's just getting lucky up there. Again, how long this lasts, Nick, I don't know. Is it realistic to expect him to be this type of player? I don't know. His OPS, it's in the 700s, I think, right now, if I had to guess, since he gotten here, somewhere in there. He's just been a quality player, and I have no issues with Hayes. Like, he's been everything and more than I expected since he's gotten here. It's just that we've kind of found ourselves in a position now where, you know, I'm guessing this is what's going to happen. We're going to probably start to put a little too much reliability on that part of his game, and people are going to get disappointed. But we'll see. I mean, maybe not. I don't want to sit here and keep playing the whole, well, he's not a very good hitter, he's going to come back down to earth thing, because he's on our team, he's on our favorite team, and I'd like to root for him for obvious reasons. So tonight, another good night for Hayes.
Yeah, another good night. Swinging the bat well. Another good night for MiLB Marte. 2 more hits. One of them was a blue pip, but hey, look, he just looks so confident at the plate and hitting in the 2-hole tonight. So it'll be interesting to see if that was just because of facing lefties or not. But there's a real opportunity there if Ellie can get hot, and having Marte and those guys back to back and them kind of feeding off of each other. And Andujar behind him. I mean, really, Marte, Ellie, and Andujar together. I mean, that could be something that could get really hot and hopefully produce quite a few runs.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I'm not saying that you're off base in any remarks tonight. It's just that we're gonna need some guys to get hot. It's simple as that, and I hope it's soon, because it feels like we're running out of time. And you know what? If you had to tell me, hey, would you rather lose tonight? If I told you that you'd beat the Mets, we'd all take it, and we'd all be extremely excited about it. So who knows? Maybe that's what the baseball gods have in store for us. Maybe we're gonna sweep the Mets, and that's gonna start the generational run that we're all gonna be talking about for the rest of our lives for the Cincinnati Reds team. That's about the most optimistic take I can provide on a night like tonight. Let's jump into Reds MILB, because I think that'll probably round out pretty much the only last thing of reasonable topic of conversation that we have left here on this show before we send it off to a little who, what, when, where, and why. But Nick, little Reds MILB on a night like tonight. Take it away.
Yeah, pretty good night of Reds MILB. We'll start off with AAA. Louisville, they fell 7-5 to Nashville. CES was 1-for-4 with a double. Sal Stewart 1-for-3, hit his 17th home run, 7th. AAA also walked Hector Rodriguez. He's been struggling a little bit of late, 0-for-3 with a walk. Resigns was 1-for-2. He actually exited the game after his second at-bat. Went back and looked at the broadcast. Might have been kind of a slight grimace. It wasn't much as he was walking back to the dugout, but unclear if there was any sort of injury. Blake Dunn, he stayed hot, 2-for-5, hit his second home run of the season. Zach Maxwell threw a scoreless inning of relief work around 2 hits. How about Yasver Zulueta tonight? Retired all 6 batters he faced, 5 strikeouts. So impressive night from Yasver Zulueta. Joe LaSorsa, Mr. La Rosas, gave up a home run, his only run allowed. All right, down to AA. Chattanooga, they won 6-3 over Biloxi. Lookouts now 62-49 on the season. Cam Collier on base 3 times again. That's back-to-back good games for him after he had really been struggling. Edwin Arroyo stayed hot. He was 2-for-5, hit his 3rd home run of the year. Hit, I think, 313 since July 4th, if I remember whatever I put up on social earlier. Ethan O'Donnell was 2-for-5 with a double. Jay Allen, 2-for-5, stole his 17th bag of the year. And then a rare off night for Trevor Kunsel. Gave up a season-high 3 runs in relief. Down to High A, the Dayton Dragons won their 3rd straight game. First time all year they have a 3-game win streak. They improved to 37-75. They win 2-1 over Peoria. Not a whole lot on the offense. Carlos Sanchez was 1 for 4. Carlos Jorge only used as a pinch runner. Alexander Vargas, the player Reds just picked up as a free agent, former Yankees high international signing, 1 for 3, stole his 21st bag overall of the year. And John Michael Fail hit his 12th home run. On the pitching side, Luke Hayden, guy who started the year really, really good, really struggled, had a pretty nice night tonight. Did give up 6 hits, but only 1 run over 5 2/3 innings, struck out 5, walked 2. And last but not least, the Daytona Tortugas, they won 8-4 over Bradenton. Tortugas, they've won 9 of 10, now have a 2.5 game lead for a second half playoff spot. Alfredo Duno just has been on fire, 1 for 3. Homer, his 12th of the year, 2 walks. Tyson Lewis, 2 for 5 with a triple. Mason Neville, how about this line? 4 for 4, home run, his first professional home run, double, and a walk. I believe he was close to a cycle tonight. Well, yeah, obviously he was close to a cycle tonight. Big game for him, the NCAA home run leader this season. Kyle Henley, he's been playing very well of late. He was on base all five times, 2 for 2, double, 3 walks, stole 3 bases. He's got 49 stolen bases this year. And Reds' new top 30 prospect, Jean-Pierre Ortiz, did not make it out of the first inning. Struggled with his command in this one. But that is your Reds MILB.
All right, folks. As always, see if we can't jump them likes up tonight. Yeah, it's like I need a little pick me up. You know, if you guys could please do a little pick me up tonight. Maybe over 100 likes would be fantastic. We'll take over 100 likes on a night like tonight. We're at 75 right now, 200 plus, over 2.25 in the chat as we speak. So if you haven't already, please like the stream. Nick, we have more baseball to be played, despite maybe perhaps the pessimistic attitude that I have kind of had on a night like tonight, because I wanted this sweep. I wanted to get to 5 in a row. And you know what tomorrow would have been? Would have been the chance to do it. We would have been there. We would have actually gotten right there on the doorstep of the mountaintop. I'm more excited about winning 5 in a row than even like maybe the playoff race, because I think you win 5 in a row, it's a damn good chance you pick up multiple games during that stretch. So see if we can't do it again. Maybe tomorrow's a start. Tomorrow is not going to be a start because they don't play tomorrow. But Friday, how about Friday?
Still a big day tomorrow. Mackenzie Gore going for the Nationals against the Mets. So hopefully we can get some help and go into the weekend. A half game out. They play, I believe, at 4:10 p.m. Reds taking on the Arizona Diamondbacks. Diamondbacks 61-66, shipped off a large portion of their offense at the trade deadline. They actually snapped a 4-game losing streak earlier tonight. Or no, I don't know. Baseball Reference doesn't update it. I don't know if they won yesterday or not, but they had won. They had lost 4 in a row, but nonetheless not playing great baseball. Reds, believe it or not, have played very well against the Diamondbacks. Reds are 45-39 all time against the Diamondbacks. That is the Reds' best record all time on the road against any major league team. So hopefully the Reds can keep that magic alive. Reds did sweep the Diamondbacks back in June at Great American Ballpark. Your series matchup, Friday 9:40, Zach Littell against Ryan Nelson. Saturday 8:10, Andrew Abbott against Nabel Krismat. He's making just his second start of the season. And then Sunday 4:10, Brady Singer against Zach Gallen. Gallen's had a tough year, but I'm never going to feel great about pitching against him. But yeah, I mean, overall pretty favorable matchups, I think you would say, Trace, this weekend. Hopefully another series you can win and just keep plugging away at this thing.
I'm sorry. You should do yourself a favor. You have super chats on the rundown. We're going to do this in a second. You should click the comments underneath my man, Mr. JAVANAUT super chat. I got to give a shout out. I got to give his shout out to Matt Gibson. It wasn't Matt Gibson. No, it was Jared Latcher. Jared Latcher says, JAVANAUT, JAVANAUT is probably on the phone with his bank right now.
Just watching this stupid podcast. These guys are a bunch of morons.
Yeah,
I meant to super chat $5, and I actually hit 500.
I don't even know if he meant to super chat at all. Who knows? Mr. JAVANAUT. He's not even in the chat. I don't even know if he's around. This guy just came in, threw some crazy cash on the table, and then just left.
Maybe he thought it was another Reds podcast too. Like maybe he's a frequent of another Reds podcast.
I don't know, man. No, I think that he's our number one fan. I would say right now that I can't believe it. I am very, very, very thankful though. I always want Mr. JAVANAUT to understand that. Yeah, I mean you're like you're in the Chatterbox Reds Hall of Fame. I mean, I don't know. Came in one night. It's almost like makes it even better that I don't even know what this guy believes in. I don't know if this guy believes that Ashcraft is terrible. He should never pitch again. I want to know if he thinks that Ellie's just not a very good defender, should play center field. I want to know if he thinks that Tito is just the man and knows how to push every button perfectly, and he's been around baseball forever, so he's the guy, or he's pissed off that Gavin Lux and or Will Benson didn't get a chance to hit in the ninth inning, which we respectfully didn't bring up for good reason. I didn't want to go down that warpath again tonight. Just seems like a nice opportunity to just maybe let that one slide underneath, underneath the door, whatever term you want to use there. Just let it slide right past, act like it never happened. I don't get it. I'd like to know, but I don't know. That's here nor there. Not sure. I'll tell you what I've realized. I think we got some people that are just like us. You're up late. You're tired. You're hoping for a win. You didn't get the win. You're pissed off. You jump on the stream, you say some crazy stuff, you wake up the next day, you realize you might have just been a little bit off key, and you're just like, all right, I'm going to move on. My thought is that that's what we're going to do right after these super chats. All right, folks. Sorry for marveling at Mr. JAVANAUT, but we got to move on here. TJ Fraley, send my condolences to Jake. But he said, for all the Ashcraft jokes, and by Ashcraft, there's a H missing, replaced by an S. This is a kid show, but I do want to let everybody know that he did say that. For all the Ashcrafts, missing the H, adding the S jokes, Terry was pissed at him. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't see the interaction. Unfortunately, I don't know if he's probably upset that they just, they gave up the lead late and didn't give up the lead, but they squandered the opportunity to hold on to the tie late. I don't know.
I didn't see the interaction either. Someone texted me about it, but I didn't see it.
I don't know if it was just something maybe he said. Perhaps he's just upset at the outing. Maybe it was the way that he was being, his attitude when Tito came out there. It's hard to say. I don't know. Not totally sure. We're going to need some guys to get hot, Nick. Simply put. Marte's carried us, right? I'm hoping it's going to be Ellie. I think Ellie's probably the guy that has the biggest opportunity to take this team to a place that they probably can't get to with many other guys. But there's one guy, Nick, that could be lightning in a bottle. And I would be utterly shocked is if we go one more full week without seeing him.
Three right-handed pitchers. Oh, you're talking about a different guy.
Yeah, you know who I'm talking about. You're talking about Will.
There's another guy that actually could you know.
Yeah, he could. He's done it before this season, oddly enough. I don't know if people remember. He was the National League Player of the Week at one point, but yeah. I don't know. I'm more or less talking about Sal Stewart, so we'll see.
I don't think they'll send him across the country in the middle of a road trip.
Yeah,
but
they did it before.
I don't know. I don't really know what they're doing with McLean. Like, in some ways, I get like you're starting Espinal because Espinal does have good career numbers against lefties, but McLean's been a better hitter against lefties. So it's like you're kind of taking away McLean's maybe best chance to get hot. Although, I mean, the pitcher tonight's a good pitcher. So
Right.
I don't really know what they're doing with McLean.
I don't know. Not giving up on him, but just giving him a rest. I don't know. Is it crazy to think that you could send McLean down for like a week or two, and then all of a sudden, like, he plays really, really well, and you bring him back, and it kind of just magically kind of gives him a boost? I don't know. Guys respond to different things different ways, you know. I was thinking to myself when they benched him to put Gavin Lux at second base, and Gavin Lux made those errors. I can't guarantee this, but I know that every single player that makes Major League Baseball has an absolute killer mentality when it comes to just competitiveness. I damn well know for a fact and again, I guess I can't know for sure, but I'm willing to bet that Matt McLean kind of was like, yeah, stick Gavin Lux out there, you dumb, you know what? That's what he was thinking. And I was hoping he was going to come back just absolutely on a tear because he was pissed he sat and watched Gavin Lux make error after error against the Brewers. But that's not what happened. So now I'm just at a loss for all of it. We'll see what happens next. But, all right, folks. Anybody got anything else to say? No.
Go Nats.
Go Nats. That's the one thing to watch for tomorrow. If you haven't already, this is your last chance. Take it or leave it. You can like the stream, but just want to let everybody know we appreciate them, we love them, and chat. You guys make it worth staying up super late and continuing to do this. So I do know that the over under was set at 1 a.m. on this show, and I gotta tell you, it's gonna go under. We'll see you better than ever on Friday night.